grew up in the Bronx, and I attended Theodore Roosevelt High School in the Bronx, and I went to Bronx Community College.
I grew up on Staten Island, actually.
Okay.
I was born in Harlem and grew up on Staten Island. Went to elementary school on Staten Island, a private school, Catholic school.
Okay.
And then in 1964, I went to Port Richmond High School on Staten Island, public school, obviously.
Well, you know, the academic classes that they had here in the summer, you know, were very, very, you know, well done, and it helped me a lot with my studies in school. So it was kind of like, you know, they went hand in hand, you know, because it was my first time ever going to a summer school, you know, and so I really didn't know how it was going to relate to going to high school, but you know, all I knew was I was getting away for the summer. So, but what I found out is that you know, they really go hand in hand, you know, because the work that I did here prepared me for the year that I was getting ready to go into in high school. So it was very helpful.
This program inspired me. This program, I read my first novel ever in my life here. It was called Shane, a cowboy novel. It was very short, which was great. I was able to get through it. I could relate to the cowboy aspect. And then about a week.
Well, I didn't know what to expect. I just thought it was like a summer school. It was a lot more than I expected it to be. You know, I didn't realize that there were so many activities.
It inspired me to be more academic, to really sharpen my intellect, and really open me up and to deal with people.
In my junior high school, when I was in the 9th grade, they connected with whoever was running PDD. But I think they picked about 10 of us out of the whole school, and you had to have certain requirements. They gave us an essay to write about, you know, did we want to go to college and, you know, things like that.
I remember seeing my English teacher, who thought I had a lot of potential, at my house. And I saw him leaving my home on Staten Island, and I said, oh, wait, I must have gotten in trouble. This is not good. When I got to the house, my mother said, no, he wants you to get involved in some program at Columbia University. So a week or so later, I came up with my parents and started a great experience with.
Are you kidding me? I couldn't wait to get back down here. I packed my bags about 3 weeks before it started.
What did it mean for your parents?
Well, I still am the only college graduate in my family.
Well, my mother was very happy. You know, she was a single mom, so she was glad that actually that I had some place to go in the summer, rather as opposed to hanging out in the street.
What did it mean for your parents?
Well, I still am the only college graduate in my family. It meant a lot to be here on this campus and to be exposed. It's interesting. A few people I am friends with on Facebook.
From this
No,
program.
unfortunately not.
One of the best things that ever happened to you. And take it, you know, seriously. Rewards of it, you know, of going through this program will affect your life in ways you didn't imagine. I mean, it brought me out of a shell, you know, and because they kind of like, you know, encouraged you so much and made you realize that, you know, you have a lot more potential than you think.
Just keep reading, keep striving, you know, listen to the counselors and the great advice, and keep in touch with the program. Because you know, I wish I could help more. That's my point. From Florida, I don't know what I can do.
You know, it did help me to have a successful working career. You know, because I did go to college, and then after I went to college, I had a stint in the military. You know, but one thing it did for me though, it prepared me to be able to communicate more in society. It really, really helped me with my confidence.
I ended up going to St. Francis College in Brooklyn, and I came back and had my master's here at Teachers College at Columbia. English as a second language. Became a public school teacher in New York City. I taught 11 years on the Lower East Side, then went to Staten Island, taught another 7 years, and then became an assistant principal. And then I became a principal.
Young people don't think they can accomplish something like this. And there are real obstacles to it, but the fact is, you can do more than people tell you. And the world...
You would have seen, if you went there, people just a year, 2, 3, 4 older than you, organizing themselves, getting stuff done. They created the possibility, I think, for some changes.
I'm Roger Lehecka.
Steve Weinberg. 1965 was the first summer of the federal anti-poverty program. Because on campus at that time, there was a lot of student activism, a lot of student empowerment. And a famous professor who was very active in the founding of Double Discovery was Professor Jim Shenton. He was a history teacher, but he believed in students. I looked around the campus and I talked to the guys like Roger who worked with me in this program, and we put together a proposal. You know, you had a little bit of classes in the morning, but Double Discovery was an exploration of the city. The city was our camp.
If you think about 50 years ago, there are some things that were the same then as today. And one of them is that your chances to get a good education, whether it's K through 12, kindergarten through 12th grade, or have a chance to go to college, or have a chance to go to a good college, then and now, your chances are affected a lot by how much money your family has and whether your parents have been to college. The initial goal was really two things. One is you bring students here who should have opportunities they're not being given, and you do what you can to help them get those opportunities. Give them good classes, education, advice about college, encouragement to go, the wherewithal to make applications and be successful. But the second thing I think we all believed, and it was because of what I was describing about how different it was 50 years ago, we thought, you know, you do something like this here at Columbia and other campuses across the country, and the people who run the schools that are not serving students properly will be so embarrassed that they won't let the schools be that bad anymore. So that if somebody said 50 years ago, this program is still going to be here in 2014, it would have been so depressing to hear. I don't know if we would have put the energy into doing it, because that was a goal too, which is not just to repair problems that the public schools and the school system in general creates in the United States, but to demonstrate that students who weren't being successful in that system could be successful, so that that public school system would change.
It is the reason it was called Double Discovery was that the students who worked in the program were going to get as much out of it, going to discover as much as the people who were brought onto campus, the younger people, not much younger than the students who ran the program. It was going to be a double benefit, a double discovery. The students from high school would come to campus and they would get a lot of opportunity, they'd get a lot of education, they'd get a lot of experiences that they wouldn't have had otherwise. But the students from Columbia who were there, counselors is what we call them here, got to know these young people from all around the city and the struggles that they were going through. And the students from Columbia discovered a lot about life in America at that time as well.
The evening talking about how that experience changed all of our lives.